So, hello everybody. Welcome on today's webinar dedicated to, or we want to present to you the new version of Safetica, Safetica 7.8, which brings some new features and enhancements. So, just to briefly introduce myself, I will be the host today. So, my name is Ota, and as maybe most of you know me, I work for Safetica, or my position is Global Business Development Manager. So my role is to introduce just briefly our company and what we do. But before I will do it, I just wanted to let you know that you will be muted for the entire webinar, and there will be question and answer session after my colleague's presentation. So you will have enough space to place your or ask your questions, and we will answer them. If there will be a lot of questions, like on yesterday's webinar, we will follow up with them and with the answers in just after the webinar or maybe tomorrow. So about our company, we produce Safetica product, which is a data loss prevention solution. Also contains many features for security audits and for sensitive data protection. We are helping with security regulations, compliance, and as you know, Safetica is scalable and is made for all kinds of companies and all sizes of the companies. So this is just for the start. Maybe some interesting facts about our current development. So our year-to-year growth is 107%. This year, we provided trainings for our partners all over the globe, from the United States through Russia to Asia. So the goal was to to train the teams to be able to provide high-quality support for you. And also, the new version brings new features that we added to Safetica to grow more more fast or more strongly in financial and healthcare segment. So this is maybe you heard of our new content features. And also, what is really hyping now is the GDPR all over Europe and other countries. So this is what Safetica can help you with, but I guess you're really interested in seeing actually the new version. So I will give my word to my dear colleague Milos, who will present the new version, and I hope that you will enjoy it.
Hello everyone, thanks Ota for kind words at the beginning. As he said, my name's Milos and I'm a senior security consultant here at Safetica Technologies, and I will guide you through today's agenda of our 7.8 version introduction. So welcome again. We will go through our key features presenting in our autumn version, starting with sensitive data discovery, which you can name as a content feature. Then we will jump to Office 365, our second biggest feature coming up in our new version. Then we will talk about significant improvements about performance and our efficiency a lot. There is a big thing going on in 7.8 regarding our performance, so stay tuned. And we will also, don't forget the Safetica Mobile and WebSafetica, our supportive products for our main desktop version. At the end, we will talk more about some smaller improvements which are still important to us. And at the end of the webinar, we will go through the roadmap, which will be talking about our upcoming Safetica 8 version. So hopefully you are enjoying yourselves, and we are going to our DLP and auditor section first. So I was talking about our sensitive data discovery features. This is something we are putting in as an extension to our current well-functioning context DLP technology, which we are used to from Safetica. And this is something we are really proud of, because we can scan your files now also with sensitive data strings inside those documents, either once or on demand, the same thing as you are used to from our file tagging already. So you are able to search for sensitive information such as credit card numbers or social security numbers, or even HIPAA information, which are already being predefined in our product. And plus that, you are able to use your own regex information, because we thought that you would like to have some uh, mm, options to use your own strings to find. So there is an option to use these regular expressions as well. The biggest advantage in front of our competition is that there is no constant CPU load as you are used to from other content solutions, because we don't scan those documents real time. We are focusing only on those which are being used in the moment, or on users which are trying to work with those documents right now. So no constant CPU load. The performance is really smooth and really amazing. And plus that, we haven't add only file tagging features for our sensitive content, but also we have a new email filter which is searching inside our the outgoing email messages, and in those messages you are able to see whether there is sensitive information in the body, and if so, we are able to inform the user that he is sending away sensitive information. Now you may see the screen of these settings, but I prefer more like a live demo. So let's jump to my console here. And now you can see that here in DLP there is a new section called sensitive content, where I set up some predefined sensitive information strings to find, such as security numbers for USA or global credit card numbers. Plus that, I define my own regular expression, which I can now show you how it works. So let's say that I will try to send myself an email address with a regex text subject in it, and by that regex I am searching for any kind of information like Safetica and a number at the end. In this moment, when I try to send it, you may see that I have received the notification that it is not safe to send this email, and as a user I can decide whether to send it or do not. And this is something which is quite neat, and I hope that this feature will be the one you are waiting for in our upcoming version. On this screen, you may see that for file tagging, it is very similar, that the information we are searching for are almost the same, only you can't use it globally. You always need to somehow define the path and extensions which will be focusing on. So this is why there is no constant CPU load. We are only focusing on these important files. Another key feature we are bringing in our new version, as I mentioned at the beginning, is full support for Office 365 features. The first thing we are able to do is to distinguish whether it is Office 365 OneDrive for personal usage or it's OneDrive for business. There is a difference in our product, so we are able to distinguish whether the user is being productive using business version or not using his personal drive. We are able to influence both or all channels according to Office 365 communication between the cloud and the endpoint, because once you will protect the data from being uploaded to Office 365, we are handling the channels, all three channels which are possible in current Windows, current Offices. So either if you're uploading it through the web or sharing it, synchronizing it through the synchronization folder, or save it from the Word or Excel or any other Office application directly to the cloud, we can deny that channel and we are able to block the operation itself. Plus that, we are implementing new, deeper integration into the communication between the endpoint and the cloud. So we can handle very well files being uploaded and files being downloaded from the cloud. Plus that, we have added a new very neat feature for the cloud, and that's Audit for all users who are working with documents saved in the cloud. And it doesn't matter whether they have the client or not. Once they are connected to the Office 365 and our product is connected to Office 365 administrating account, we are able to see everything what's going on inside the document, inside the cloud. So this is probably very cool feature in the future, and I will talk about it later in the roadmap. We are planning to enhance these auditing features to the restriction features. So stay tuned. At the end, we will definitely talk about it. So how it actually looks like. This is a very common screen from our console you are used to, but let's see, there is already a distinguishing factor. There is a OneDrive Personal, OneDrive for Business. One is denied, the other one is allowed. Also, we can recognize the old SharePoint technology, and we can set it to read only as well for example, personal Google Drive. So they may be able to see whatever they have stored on their cloud, but we won't let them to upload or synchronize anything there. And again, I'm a big fan of live streaming, so let's see what's going on in our WebSafetica, which is our main feature for Office 365. You know WebSafetica quite well already, but there are new features in management too, and one of these is the synchronization with the cloud. So here under management and general settings, you can see that there is Office 365 section. If I would like to edit it, the only thing you need is to find these three values inside your Office 365 administrating account, copy them and paste them here and save the information. Once you do it, you will be able to see the logs in data security Office 365 section, and you will be able to see whatever is going on inside your cloud, meaning you will see which user is working on which operation with the single file or multiple files, when the operation was handled, and what was the type of the person who he shared it with. So you can see that he shared it with a colleague, or he shared it publicly with anyone. So these are the key features for our auditing features, auditing operations inside the cloud. And as I said, in the future, we would like to present you with restrictions as well. This is how it works in WebSafetica. In all features we already have in our product, there is a big performance improvement. The first major thing is that we are bringing new network inspection technology. It's more compatible and more modern, and it's also 50% more faster than our previous technology. So you can expect quite quick browsing on the web and using other network operations. There is no proxy, so we don't have that extra step inside the communication. The communication is direct from the web to our network layer, and that network layer, which is sitting on the endpoint, is also faster. It's faster than before, approximately about 30%. And it brings more compatibility with multiple antiviruses and other network applications you are using, such as ESET, Bitdefender, so forth. So you don't need to be scared anymore that some antivirus will break our communication between the web and Safetica. We also brought more effective structure of data saved in the database. We have kinda revised how we are storing data. We did the revision and we comprimed the data, so they are smaller and they are stored more efficiently. And plus that, we also support now new Microsoft SQL 2016, even the Express edition, which is quite neat because with 2016 SQL Server, even Express edition, we are able to handle more data than before. It's very fast. It's very, very reliable. We are very satisfied with this 2016 sequel. Some basic facts. For WebSafetica, we have now comprimed our data to up to 40%. So the data which was 1 GB big before are now only 600 megabytes, which is quite neat. That combined with the SQL the SQL enhancements from Microsoft, we are able to store much more data from much more clients, even on Express edition of SQL Server. So you don't need to be afraid to connect multiple clients together for one Microsoft SQL Server now. Together with that, we are bringing more effective data audit. What does it mean? For auditor features such as webs, applications, or files, we don't need any network layer at all, even for the network communication logs. Now our auditor is as clean as it can be. There is no worries about interfering with the network technology. So you can audit your whole company very easily, and you don't need to be afraid that there would be some interference between the network layer and our auditing features. We brought a new intelligent file logging for you too. We have kind of thought about it, and we were thinking like, what if our customers and partners are confused about our file logging? What if they don't know how to set it properly to see the proper results? So we did it for you, and by default, we are now logging the most interesting file operations for the most interesting file extensions. You don't need to define anything in auditor files now. You will just deploy the client, you will just turn on the auditor features, and everything important would be there for you, locked and saved safely in the database. So there is one more feature for that, because we had our internal project we called WebSafetica First. And yes, you understand it correctly. You are now able to deploy all auditing features with our WebSafetica and also deploy all agents and clients together with it. So you don't need the desktop version to be able to monitor your environment, which is quite neat because WebSafetica is even more clever than our desktop version. And in the moment you will deploy agents and clients, everything from auditor will be turned on automatically. You don't need to even go to the settings and turn it on. It will just start collecting data in the moment you will install the endpoint client. So I think that this is very, very useful for you, both partners and customers, because it's easier than ever before. For that file logging, we are using very specific definition for interesting paths and extensions. We have like rules inside our program which are distinguishing which files are being logged, and I think that it's very, very interesting. And this new logic was applied for auditor files. It was applied for DLP protocol. It was applied for all IM applications like instant messaging, Skype, WhatsApp, and so on, and also our web browsing monitoring. So every log from these categories is being efficiently saved in the database, and it's very, very easy to browse. Now, I was talking about WebSafetica and Safetica Mobile as well. We had a brief look into WebSafetica already, but it's not everything I was talking about. Not only Office 365 is being improved in new WebSafetica version. Now, and I already told you, we add our endpoint maintenance features in WebSafetica too. Now you can update your clients, you can deploy them safely, with auditor turned on automatically after the installation. You are able to maintain all licenses. You are able to see more logs and more revised logs. So, for example, we have did the revision for data flow section. Again, let's see the news. For example, when I'm here in data security and I will switch to data flow, you can see that previously there was a lot of smaller sections for multiple channels. Now we somehow merged it and we created outgoing data. We merged it to incoming data, or you can just simply see all data flow and search for the information in records yourself. So we have minimized the effort you need to do to put inside the logging or browsing the logs to search for the specific information. Also, I told you that you are able to maintain the product. So here in general settings, you are able to control your licenses for mobile phones and both clients on computers. You are able to set the SMTP server. You are able to do the Office 365 synchronization, and you are also able to turn on the troubleshooting for the product. So this is very, very cool as well. And plus that, yeah, there is a new section called server and database, and you are able to see whether you are using the updated server and if the connection to your database is correct and functioning. So no need to worry. Everything from the maintenance, which is important for you, can be done from WebSafetica now. Talking about deployment and updates, you can see that in the section management there is a new one, computers, which is quite similar to mobiles you are used to already from previous versions. Here you can either browse for information about the computer. If you click on the little checkbox here, you are able to somehow, multi-choice the computers as you need. On the right, there is a button to download the installer, which is a very known Safetica agent, but from WebSafetica, it's configured to act differently, because once you will deploy the agent, you would be able to install the client from this view. And on computers where agent already is, you can see that you can update the agent once you will update the server. So it's very, very intuitive and very, very fast. WebSafetica won't let you do something you are not able to. So if you choose the computers where no agent is, the update or installation button is simply not there. So we did a lot of work regarding the deployment. And when talking about mobile, our application is now available worldwide. So after our huge test here in Middle Europe, we are distributing the application all over the world. You can download it now from the from your favorite app stores like Google Play or App Store, Apple Store, and we did a lot of work with it because we unified it under the Xamarin technology. So now it's unified. It's the same user interface. It has the same features for both operating systems. You might notice that we have canceled Windows Phone because this platform is losing its support from Microsoft itself. So we canceled Windows Phone, and we are focusing on those two biggest operating systems. Some news for this operating system. We are bringing, for example, managed apps, which is something you are probably waiting for, because till now Safetica Mobile was a MDM solution. Now we are bringing a security in it, so we are enhancing our features for mobiles. Again, let's see very quickly. When you are in mobile devices, you can just simply open overview of your phone, and you can see the information you are used to. You can do the MDM operations and so on and so on. But hey, look, there is a new button called Install Application, and I can select my predefined packages of applications I would like to push in your phone. You can just select the APKs or the other format for iOS you want to install in your phones, and you can do it from here. So it's very intuitive to prepare your phones before you are distributing them to your employees. Plus that, we brought some policies as well. Now you can control some restrictions. So if I'm redirected to restrictions here, I can create a new restriction, name it somehow, and I can, for example, disable the phone's camera. I can disable using the App Store. I can, for example, disable making screenshots on those mobile phones. And once I save this, I can drag and drop it to the respective group of users, and I can assign it there very easily. And that's it. You have just created a policy which will protect your phones. So I don't think that it's very hard to do it, and I hope that you like these features the same way I do. I also promised you some more improvements, not talking about the key features. For example, now you can fully use your IPv6 addresses inside your environment. We already brought our infrastructure support. So if you are using IPv6, you can redirect your clients from to connect from the endpoint to the server by using IPv6 addresses, and it's working just fine. We also brought full support for Microsoft Edge browser, which is quite unique among other browsers. It's a Metro application in Windows 10 and Windows 8, which is acting quite differently than classical desktop browsers. But with Safetica 7.8, we finally fully support that. You don't need to be afraid to use it in your environment, and you don't need to be afraid to use DLP policies, because we can block the operations the same way as you are used to from Chrome or Firefox. Ota mentioned that we are getting global, which is true. So we decided to localize our product to more languages. The first of the languages was the Spanish one. So now full product is in Spanish. We are now bringing even more languages. Our endpoint client is already translated to Polish and probably Turkish, which we will be enhancing to the full product too. And recently we started to sell our product in Russia, so you can expect to see Azbuka in our product really soon too. Other thing, we fasten our installation. Now using WebSafetica, as I told already several times, you are able to distribute the whole environment just with WebSafetica, and it's really fast. It's more quick. It will automatically install 2016 Express Edition, which is free for you. It will automatically create your downloader agent. It will automatically you will be able to distribute the agent through GPO, and it will automatically install client on the endpoint station. We have tested it, and we are able to do all these steps up to running and monitoring environment within 30 minutes. So I think that's a really great improvement. And plus that, if you are using this Express installation or the typical desktop automatic installation, we added automatic Active Directory import. So when the server is running in the domain, and in the domain there is some Active Directory user tree structure, you will find it immediately in your product. You don't need to synchronize it later manually. Plus that, we have some warnings during the installation, so you will see whether the operating system is not supported before the installation, so you don't need to be afraid about any incompatibility. You will see the installation of SQL Server in the background, so you will always know what's going on during the installation. And we are also having some more notes there for you, so we will guide you through the installation and deployment very easily and quickly. So right now, before we jump into our Safetica 8 roadmap, I would like to ask you for your attention for a while. There is a quick poll we prepared for you, so I'm launching it right now. You should see it on your screens, and I'm postponing my words to Ota. He will guide you through this questionnaire.
Yeah, I think it's pretty easy. So the question is about the features you like the most, and we'll give you like just a minute for answering the this yeah this poll. So after that, yeah, I can see the most popular one for now is sensitive data discovery with 73% of popularity. Now it's 75, so 77. Okay, so it's over. So we have 71% for sensitive data discovery. We have 50% for Office 365, 50% for performance improvements, 50 for more effective data audit, and the other is just a 7%. So the winner is sensitive data discovery, and we can now move to the roadmap part. So just briefly, I can tell you what we are planning for the upcoming versions, and or Milos will tell you. Okay, Milos, you have a word.
Thanks, Ota. Thank you for guiding us through the poll. Thanks, guys, for attending it. I'm very happy to see that you are expecting our sensitive data discovery the most. I'm looking forward to it as well. So hopefully we will fulfill your dreams with our new key feature in our new version. And talking about the devil, or speaking about the devil, I can make you even more happy, because this is not the end station in Safetica 7.8. I can assure you that for our content features, the version is only the beginning, and we are already putting our focus on more extensions to our current sensitive data discovery channels. But for Safetica 8, as you can see in roadmap, we are making much more for you. We would like to extend it for more channels, because right now we are focusing only on Microsoft Office applications, but in the future we would like to bring our sensitive data discovery for more applications, more kinds. So in our spring version in 2018 for Safetica 8, you can expect much more interesting content information being searched in files for you. Also, I have already mentioned it several times. The Office 365 auditing features are also just a beginning, because in the future we would like to bring data security in your cloud as well. It's already prepared there, because Microsoft they implemented their own DLP API inside the cloud, and we just need to get their API to work with our product, synchronize it, and you can use it in the future happily and protect your data on the cloud as well. One thing we are working very hard on is protection of data from server side. So you would not need installed agents and clients on your endpoints. It will be sitting on the file or email server or file share folder. And once the user will connect to the server, or he will enter the share folder, the client on the server will decide whether he is the unauthorized one or not, and it will let him to use the file or not, depending on the policy. So no need of client on the endpoint anymore. Next features for DLP, like a security policy one-time bypass, which is something I'm looking forward myself to, because when you are using restriction policies, sometimes it happens that the user is in a need to send the file away. But in the case there is a restriction policy, he simply can't, because the restriction won't let him. We would like to have something like a one-time password for this, so he would be able to enter the password under the warning that he is doing it on his own danger, and that everything will be logged and administrator would be alerted. So there would be a precaution for it, but he will be able to perform such operation. Also, WebSafetica and Safetica Mobile are not the end station as well. For WebSafetica, we are planning much more architecture enhancements, data revisions, visualization improvements, because we would like to make WebSafetica our #1 product in the future. So we are slowly moving our features such as Auditor, DLP, and Supervisor from the desktop version to the web one. And when talking about Safetica Mobile, we want to protect your data there as well. So we were thinking, and we probably find a right way. We would like to guide our application to create a secure company workspace in your mobile phone storages. And in those spaces, your employees would be able to work with company data, company emails, for example, and we won't let them to do it in their private storages. So this is our main goal for Safetica Mobile right now. It's called iOS Managed Applications. You already seen in our WebSafetica, or it's called Android for Work. Maybe some of you already know these features as Google is extending its operating system to companies as well. So this was the roadmap for Safetica 7.8, and I have lost the track, but I believe that Ota is already looking on your questions. So we will slowly move to this question and answers final stage of our webinar, and I will ask Ota kindly to read your questions and answer them himself, whether it is a sales question or direct them to me if it's a technical one.
Okay, so I have one question from our dear friend Valentina from Argentina about our support for Mac platform for endpoints. So this is something we are really working on really hard, but it will still take us some time. So I think we will have some first features for Mac, I guess, in the half of 2018, if I'm not wrong. And so I cannot promise something right now, but I can inform you that we are actually working on that. So I'll just take a look for some more questions. Okay, so we have another question from David about when will be this version available. So, Milos, you know the exact date, so just please answer.
Actually, the exact date is quite a mystery right now because we haven't decided it yet. But if you will be patient, I can promise you probably that it will be in November. So this is the first day of this month, and you can be assured that during November there will be the new version released publicly. And when we do it, we will definitely inform you through our typical channels, so you can expect some blog post or something about it very soon.
Yeah, so actually this version is available for our beta customers, and we are testing it in a larger environments. But yeah, it will maybe take a week, 2, 3 before we finally release this new version. Yeah, okay. One more question. We had a question about the pricing, if there will be any change with the prices for Safetica licenses. So there will be no change, and everything just remains the same, like you were used to it. Okay, so just don't be afraid to ask. We have time, so if you're interested in anything, just let us know, and we can answer.
Okay, another question was the technical one. There was a question about which kind of the regular expressions we are using in our product. Well, the answer is simple. It's ECMA. type of regular expression, so it's the one used the most in the world. We haven't been thinking about something new. We were focusing on bringing you the simplest solution possible. So when you will be adding your regular expressions, you can focus on ECMA type of them, and I think that the technical guidelines for these regular expressions will follow very soon with our follow-up emails after this introduction. There is a question about if we are able to monitor web or application activity in our Safetica mobile application. Unfortunately, there is not, due to our legal duties in multiple countries, because the application is available worldwide now. We can't monitor people's activities on their mobile devices. So no, there is no possibility to log whatever is going on like we are doing it on computers. So the application itself is focused on security and MDM features as before, but you can expect a lot of improvements in the future, hopefully.